Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. So I have an Epiphone AJ Deluxe something on the bench here, a few years old, and the customer slash client brought this in, saying that it didn't quite feel right. The action was wonky, etc., etc. Somebody, they had somebody else work on it who, I guess, not to belittle anybody or anything, but they were kind of shade tree, whatever you want to call it. I want to illustrate with this example some of the things that happen with adjustments and misreads. And part of that is through the, just looking at the instrument as a whole. And one of the issues that my customer was saying is that the bridge was apparently glued in place, or the saddle, I should say. Now, whether that is true or not, well, we'll find out. Hopefully, if I go through this quick enough, I'll get to that. But the other thing is the action is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I'll try to make a point of it really quickly here. If I can explain it, and I'll measure it, and I'll show you in a second. The strings are super spongy through the middle. They look okay up here. Visual height looks okay, but like you can almost fly a jet underneath the strings through the middle here. And just visually, I'm looking at it quickly, and I can see there's a ton of air underneath the strings here, meaning the neck is doing this in a very, very big way. So how can I explicitly measure this? Well, I will do it this way. I'm going to, pardon the light here for a second, but I'm going to look at, and I hope you can see this. I'm going to check real quick. Nah, hang on a second. I'll just adjust that out of the way. There we go. Okay. This will work just as well. I'm holding down the string at about the 2nd fret and 14th, 15th, where it meets the body, right? And if I look at the G string here, which I'm using as my marker, that gap of light that I see, there's a gap of light that I'm indexing here around the midpoint between my fingers, and that gap of light is massive. I would say it's about the same dimension as the A string alone. That is huge. That's huge. I mean, it's not, I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to put an absolute explicit measurement to it because it's subjective for the time being. Now I'm going to take a 4mm adjuster here, which I know these instruments have, and I will make some quick tweaks here. Just a couple small turns there. And I really don't see much movement. So we're on to plan B. Okay, I'm going to take some pressure off. Why do I do that? Well, because now we're taking this 100 and nearly, almost 200 pounds of pressure between the nut and the bridge. We're reducing that into, somewhat less. And this will allow we're taking the pressure off the truss rod itself to allow it to move a little more freely. Now, as I do this, I would make a comment that ideally, an instrument should not have much of any pressure on the truss rod. The truss rod, is there for kind of, how can I say it? Like in case, just in case, to thwart the effects of time and pressure. That's better. I'll tell you right away. Now I can see through here the distance, or that little gap of light, is more like the fine E string itself. So this neck has literally gone from here to here. Okay, it's come up quite a bit. And if I give this, considering that there is, you know, very little pressure from the strings on the neck for the time being, there we go. That's looking a lot better. I'm going to anticipate that by the time I bring the strings up to pressure, that the neck is going to, you know, be in a much more copacetic state, let's say. Okay, I'll give that one more tweak. So this is really preliminary adjustments, okay? Now you can hear that that was way down. So we're just getting in the ballpark as far as pressure goes. Now, as I look at this again, I'm seeing very little gap in terms of relief. In other words, the neck has gone from here, again, the neck has gone from here to here. It's come up quite a bit, and it's much more in the realm of where it needs to be. So what is the end result? Okay, well, let's double check. Get it up to pitch. Tuning and pressure make all the difference in the world. You want to, you know, what is a predictable tuning? What is a predictable pressure? They go hand in hand, etc., etc. Okay. That's way better for the neck in its general geometry. But I will tell you this: the strings are way too low. They're too low. They're just too low. This. In other words, the saddle has to be taken out and shimmed up. So, by way of explanation, this is how the geometries of, relief and having it, you know, in the ballpark, and the other points of interest being the saddle and the nut. Are they working with the relief itself? Okay, I can tell you right away just by looking at the nut. The nut is whacked. It's like most of the 5 out of the 6 strings, just at a glance, are not slotted properly. They're too high. Now the saddle, this is more or less bonus material from here out. Okay, we're gonna see if that saddle is indeed glued in, and as I do this very quickly, I'll give you a little explainer as to the process involved here. Grab my capo, whatever. Okay, I'm going to draw up these bridge pins very quickly. I'm using my knuckle here as a rocker or leverage point. It makes for very quick work. Put those aside in a tray so that they're organized. Pull this up. Oh, that doesn't want to come out, does it? No, we'll get that. There we go. Okay, so is this saddle glued in or not? We're going to find out. Well, there's almost nothing to grab onto. But apparently, look, It's not glued in. Whoever was trying to do the work didn't realize that there are ways of getting these things out without, destroying them. Anyway, so what's going to happen is I'm going to go through this. I will double check the condition of the neck in terms of, is it true or does it have like the wavy gravies? And I'll look at that. I will shim this to the proper height once I determine that the neck is and the fretboard are in good shape, and we'll kind of in combination with the nut, the relief, a good fretboard plane, and a proper saddle height, we'll kind of tweak our way into a way better functioning, playing, sounding, lasting instrument. And that's pretty much the whole story right there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of that. A little bit of knowledge goes a long way. Like and subscribe. Have a great day. See you later.